point leader on the Modified Tour, and former champion Mighty Mike Stefanik in the ADAP Auto Palace number 15. Carl Pastriak, a great run for him in a runner-up spot. Jeff Fuller in third, the Pastriak's time of 19.204. Then it's Jeff Fuller with a 19.208 with car number 8. Then fourth is the number 69 for Reggie Ruggiero, 19.247. So that's the top four as they appear on the board, and it appears that the Maroka car, the problem is a little bit more severe. As you can see, the Speedy Drive, where it came out of the pits, being spread now to the bottom side of the racetrack. So it appears that that car will not be taking time.
In just a matter of moments, Mike Kalanoff will be talking with Mike Stefanik concerning his run here this afternoon. In fact, it almost looks, Ben, as though the Tim Maroka effort will go by the boards and he'll take that car back in and attempt to qualify otherwise.
Used to go real good here in time, and then we went into this big lull, and everybody got on my case. So I worked real hard this week to come up with a time trial setup, and it worked real well, and we are real pleased to be on the pole. At least we showed speed today. I don't know how it'll be tomorrow, but at least we're fast today.
Mike, a great season so far. You've virtually clinched the 1991 championship on the Winston Modified Tour. You've got to be pleased. I'm sure your sponsors, ADAP and Auto Palace, are pleased as well.
Well, it's really great, to win the championship and have the Auto Palace team with you. They're real happy, and hopefully it'll be a long-term relationship, and we can go on from here.
Tomorrow, what's the strategy? What do you look forward to?
Well, we just try to stay up front with the lead, pack, and if we're not leading, they're leading, we'll probably do what they do. Pretty much, that's probably a three-tire rule. I haven't even read up on the race. I haven't even thought about it, but chances are it would be a three-tire stop somewhere after lap 80 or 90, and then that'll be the race from there to the finish.
19.149. That is the time for Mike Stefanik, and he'll be on the pole for the fall final. And that puts Snead and the Jones machine in the front row. Chambrello and Willie Hardy, Tom Tagg and Savage. Then it's Bennett and Christopher. A lot of the cars being up for sale. Christopher's car among many. So if you're looking for a race car, this is the opportunity to do so. Reggie Ruggiero is sitting behind the wheel of the Catania car that is usually driven by Anderson. So there's a driver change for you. John Snead leads him into turn number 1. He runs the inside of the racetrack, but it's still a little bit greasy and slippery up there. Willie Hardy takes a peek at the bottom. Can't quite do it. Here comes Savage on the outside with car number 88. But into turn number 1, it's Snead who guards the line, stays glued to the bottom, comes off the turn a little bit sideways, gathers his back, and right there behind him is Rob Jones. Hardy still sets in the third spot, and the battle becomes a battle for 4th. Chambrello runs to the inside of Savage, then it's Tom Tagg not far behind. Teddy Christopher right in the thick of things. 8 cars scheduled to qualify. Currently, it is the Kohler machine that sets among the qualified cars. Snead brings them back to the line. Jones runs in second. He's got problems off the turn. It appears to be the number 02 of John Kerslack that was involved, and possibly involved in the mix-up. Looks like the Lombardo car. Car number 78X. Now, Steve Lombardo has not had one of his best days. He was involved in an altercation in the practice session, and now he becomes a victim of circumstances also. So he drives from the UK. In rows of 2, they're ready. Pace car pulls off the racing surface. Bill Long looks him over. 2 flags in hand. He addresses turn number 4. Green flag is out and in the air. It is Snead that brings them back to the line. Wobbles the fifth, but still maintains the lead. Christopher tries to make it 3 wide in his quest for the 6th spot. Can't do it this time. As they come off the turn, Tom Tagg gets bounced around a bit. He drops back in position, but he isn't satisfied with that. Car number 3 is on a roll on the outside. They come off the turn. The track is still greasy and slick as they come back to the line. Rob Jones sets in position number 3. 4th spot is still Chambrello. And the 5th spot is still Savage, and 6th is now Christopher. 7th is Tagg, and Kohler runs in the final qualifying spot. As they come off the turn, work their way back to the line, Christopher looks for a bite that doesn't really appear to happen inside of car number 3 for Tommy Tagg. Tagg tries to hold on as Christopher moves up and takes over position number 6. Again, Christopher sets in the 6th spot as they come back to the line halfway down and halfway to go. Single file is the story. Nose to tail, they come back to the line. Now, the most Carling over the number 2 car, and that is car number 22 for Willie Hardy. Christopher goes down to the bottom, thinks twice of it, gets down there in the loose stuff. Tom Tagg says, just give me some room, and I'll show you how to get to the front of this field. Jones finds a little room on the inside of Hardy as they come back to the line, but Hardy still maintains the number 2 position. 5 laps up on the big board. Time is starting to run out. Jones gets down to the loose stuff this time. Tagg gives old Ted Christopher a tag as he comes off the turn. No real harm done there as they work their way back to the line. The popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 circuits remain. Speed is now pulling away by more than half a straightaway distance as he is starting to really expand it at the front of this field. Second is still Willie Hardy. Third is still Jones. Fourth is Gambrello. Fifth is Savage. Sixth is Christopher. Seventh is Tagg. And eighth is Kohler. The white flag is out. It'll surrender to the checker. When they work their way back to the line, this is the one that counts the most. The final circuit of competition. Even at turn number 2. Things have been pretty much uneventful so far. In single file, it's pretty much been the story. They get down the back straightaway, deep into turn number 3, and off the 4th turn. The checker flag is waving, and John Steen has himself a huge victory to win this qualifying round. Willie Hardy sets in second, Ron Jones in third, and Runnels in 4th, 5th is Savage, 6th is Christopher, 7th spot is Tommy Tagg, and the 8th and final qualifying spot goes to Kohler with car number 31. So those are your 8 qualified cars out of round number 1.
Kurt Brainerd down on the inside. Kenny Johnson runs the high groove. Here comes Frank Hurt with that red number 24. D'Amato suddenly gets a good light off the second turn. Brings the field towards turn number 3. As they complete the first circuit of the half mile, it is the 96 of Kurt Brainerd out in front. Kenny Johnson runs in the next spot. Now Frank Hurt has a solid grasp on position number 3. Rocky D'Amato down on the inside in 4th, but here comes the 6th, Bob Georgitis, car number E6, up to the high side. Georgitis involved in the mishap during the warm-up. Appears to be no worse off as a result, as that car is hooked up very nicely in the high groove. Gets a good run up and around D'Amato, and now begins to bear down on the rear bumper of Frank Hurt's red number 24. Kenny Johnson grabs the lead off of turn number 2. He brings Frank Hurt and Bob Georgitis right along with him. Kurt Brainerd slowing as he heads deep into turn number 3. Everybody gets backed up a little bit. They run 3 wide off the turn. Way up high. Top 51. Down low, the 51 of Bob Potter. Richie Gallup finds a way through the middle with car number 31. Potter looks to find the same road, but suddenly it is closed to him. And the 82 of Mike Christopher begins its march forward with 3 laps up on the scoreboard. This time by the cross flags indicating halfway. 4 down, 4 to go for Kenny Johnson, your leader in car number 53. Frank Hurt holds on for second. Georgitis runs in the 3rd spot. Richie Gallup now makes a move underneath Rocky D'Amato, and Gallup grabs the 4th position. Galloping Ghost with car number 31. Then it is the 98 of D'Amato to round out the top 5. Mike Marquette with the 81 in the 6th spot. And then it is the 82 of Mike Christopher. Bob Potter takes a look to the low side of Christopher. Can't make the move that time and tucks right in behind. Georgitis takes a peek to the inside of Frank Hurt. But as they exit turn number 4, it is still Kenny Johnson. Frank Hurt, the 31 of Gallup, up on the high side of the racetrack, finds some running room and is able to get by Georgitis. That drops Bobby down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Rocky D'Amato tries to pick up the spot. Georgitis is able to hang on, but look at Gallup go with the 31. Up into second, down low. He challenges Frank Hurt. 1 lap to go, makes contact with Kenny Johnson. And that costs him nearly as Hurt takes full advantage and slides back into second. Hurt and Johnson make a little bit of upper contact between 1 and 2. Everybody shakes it out nice and even. And as they head their way back towards the checkered flag, here's how they'll cross the stripe. It'll be Kenny Johnson in for the win, followed by the 24 of Frank Hurt, the 31 of Gallup, 86 of Georgitis, the 98 of D'Amato. Then it is the 81 of Mike Marquette, the 82 of Christopher, and the 51 of Bob Potter.
So they pick up the pace, severance, and lateral. Evenly matched. They come off the turn. Green flag is in the air. And him in turn one is the lateral machine. Lateral stands on it, but Severance battles back, and by the time they come off turn number 2, it is Severance in command. Ball tries to sneak down to the bottom. With the Rock setting in the 4th spot. Solid shot to the bumper. There goes the Rock around. He does a 360, and Bo Gunning, with no place to go, literally runs up on the right front wheel of car number 13. Everybody manages to pull away under their own power, but it appears that flat tires are going to tell the story. In this one, as the Gunning machine has a left front and a right front flat tire. Car number 13X, Ronnie Rocco, also shares in the same dilemma, as it appears that George Kent managed to squeak by and somehow miss all of that. But the Gunning machine cannot get back to the pits under its own power. Come off the turn, down to the line they come. They're in that loose speed line. Stuck on the outside, but Jensen is right there on his back bumper. Lateral gets up in the loose stuff. Shawanski keeps the door open, but down there's just as much speed line. It's tough to get the bite. The Brad Paul has found some magic setting in second. Jensen drops back to 5th. Here comes George Duquesne, sets in the 6th spot. Off the turn, they slip and they fly. Turn number 1. Wall tries to keep it nice and low. Will he be able to do it? He'll put the pressure on. Off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Sets him up nicely. It is Brad Wall who moves to the inside. Wall, the veteran, has now taken over position number 1. Not far behind. It is Lateral who tries to run the bottom, but he wants to go on the outside. Black flag is being issued to car number 70, the George Kent machine. Apparently that car is one of the cars that has a problem. As they head down the back straightaway, Shawanski still setting in 3rd. Lateral still got 4th. Jensen in the 5th spot. The Kent car is at black flag, so it will not appear in a qualifying position. And it expires and Capacetti. Leader still remains. Brad Crawl out in front. Severance still running in 2nd. Jensen and Kent almost make contact. This time when they come back to the line, halfway down and halfway to go. Off the turn. It is Crawl. Severance right there in 2nd. Can't quite do it. Shawanski still got 3. Lateral for 4. 5th is Jensen. 6th is Fire. 7th is Capacetti. And 8th now is Bob Cody. That is the final qualifying spot. Off the turn, here comes Severance down low. Door is suddenly shut. No room this time. As they head down the back straightaway, Shawanski reels him in. 3 cars, nose to tail. Severance a little bit sideways, but still holds on. This time, 2 flags straight in the air means 2 laps to go. Deep into turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they head. It is Jensen who takes the peak to the outside. Thinks twice of it, tucks it back down low. 5 cars, nose to tail, still no one getting the big bite. It'll put them to the front of the field. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Final circuit. If anybody's been saving anything, it's got to show now. Down the back straightaway, Jensen pulls the same type of move. Here comes Lateral. Down underneath Shawanski. They come off the turn. Back to the line they come. Raw takes down the win. Severance in for 2nd. Shawanski for 3rd. Lateral for 4th. Jensen for 5. Spires for 6. Capacetti for 7th. And the 8th and final qualifying spot, Bob Cody, the Cody Motors machine, will take down the final qualifying position. So 8 cars make the transition once again.
Lights have been turned out, so it looks like we're just about set to get the green as Peter Locke drops that pace car down low. The Pontiac is in, and it looks like we're set for a start. Off the turn they come. They address themselves to the start-finish line, where Bill Long steers them down, lets them go. Green flag is out, and Brower will jump out into the lead, take them down. Ben Adams. Adams gets hooked up nicely off of turn number 2. He slides in for the 2nd spot. Deep into turn 3, we've got a problem here as the 71 car has spun and pulls right back out in front of the field. Gary Vickstock. It's all Ball up to Bill Long. He looks them over. Green flag is out once again, and they're nearly 3 wide as they head across the line. A terrific move by Chuck Zentarski. Puts the Captain's Galley Machine into second, and Chuck Doherty is right there along with Ben Adams as they all bear down on John Brower's car number 93. 3 wide, they exit the turn. Right smack dab in the middle, he's your leader, Chuck Zentarski, but Doherty looks to find running room down low. He inches his way down to the bottom of the racetrack and has a slight advantage as they exit turn number 2. Heading down the backstretch, Doherty just inches ahead, ever so slightly. He now assumes the lead off of turn number 4 as Ben Adams tries to find running room underneath the 8 of Zentarski. It is Chuck Doherty, car number 02, followed by the 8 of Zentarski. The yellow flag is out, however, as the 71 car of Gary Bichot has gone around up in turn number 3. Never mind, never mind. Here we go. Off the turn, down to the line. Here they come. It is Doherty out front. Adams now has moved in to claim that second position. And Chuck Zentarski holds on for third. Bruce Adams is in fourth. And rounding out the top 5, it is John Brower. Fred LaForge goes around with a 114, makes hard contact into the third turn wall, and the yellow flag is back out one more time. So the late models having a tough go of it here this afternoon. Only 2 laps up in the Winston Racing Series scoreboard, and thus far the attrition rate has been rather high. Top competitors in the entire division. 8 laps is the plated distance. 2 are up on the board. Here they come. Chuck Doherty jumps on the throttle. He leads them off the turn. Ben Adams and Chuck Zentarski plug it out for second as they cross the start-finish line. Heading for turn 2, down on the inside, it is Adams. He gets a great bite with the 5 car and jumps in for the second position. Zentarski now runs third. Here comes Bruce Adams up on the outside of John Brower. Poulin in the 78 runs in the next spot. Then it is car 7X of Bob Badura. Into turn 1, the 8 of Zentarski finds a lot of room there. 4 wide back in their battle for positions 5 and 6. They sort that whole thing out, and a lot of positions change that time around. Let's see if we can straighten that out for you as they cross the line. It is the 02 of Doherty, the 8 of Zentarski, the 5 of Ben Adams, the 78 of Poulin, the 7X of Badura, and the 55 of Adams, the 93 of Brower, out of commission. And it is Chuck Doherty, car number 02, out in front. Doherty sets the pace, brings them off the turn, back down to the stripe. 2 laps remain to be run for Doherty, Zentarski, Ben Adams, the 78 of Donkey Poulin, the 55 of Lauda, 10 to 12 car length advantage over Chuck Zentarski. Doherty now off the turn, back down to the line. And it'll be Chuck Doherty in for the win, followed by Zentarski, Ben Adams, Poulin, Bruce Adams, the 7X of Badura, and the 22 of Foster.
Back to the center of the infield. The lights are off on the Pontiac Excitement machine, and it appears that Peter Locke will be diving to the center of the infield, and we will commence with the second of the late model qualifying events. The Winston Racing Series qualifying heat are now into the record books. Consolation to be left run in that division. Pro Stocks will follow the late models as they come off turn number 4 back to the line. Jim Longley on the inside. But George Mantos Bissett literally glued to the back bumper. Smoke erupts from beneath one of the automobiles. It is car number 88 that tries to make it 3 wide underneath Caruso for Bobby Skitcher. Skitcher can't quite complete the move that would give him the spot. Gary Levitone also running fairly strong with car number 24, but as they come back to the line, it is Pete Childs who leads it in turn number 1. Benavir sets in the 3rd spot, and 4th spot is Caruso. Then it's Levitone in position number 5. 6th position currently held out by car number 88 for Bobby Skitcher. Skitcher sets in the 6th and final qualifying spot. Off the turn they come. The Mad Dog, George Bissett, tries to keep it nice and low. He tries to take over the number 1 spot, but Charles leads it for number 1. Charles looking very, very strong at the front of the field. The Mad Dog moves to the inside. Can't do it this time. But speaking of an inside move, it is the Leviton, number 24, that tries to move down underneath Caruso. He takes it in deeper than most. That gives him the advantage of the 4th spot. Pete Charles is up into the loose stuff and tags the wall. You see the white paint on the rear quarter. He goes from 1st back to the 4th spot. He is sideways in front of Bobby Skidger. Skidger tries to back out of it a bit to save himself and the number 31 as they get down the back straightaway. It is now George Bissett who leads him. Kenny Benavir setting in 2nd. Lemitone's got 3. Bobby Skidger for 4. Pete Charles has got 5, but here comes Caruso, the challenge. And now Caruso is about to take over position number 5. Number 7 is the Wade Gagner car. We believe it is John Mayberry who is doing the driving on that car this afternoon. And he now sets just 1 spot out of a qualifying position. He gets on the binders heavily. You can see the left front tire smoking a bit. Nothing but smoke and a false alarm there. But it's George Bissett who leads it at turn number 1. Ken Benavir setting in 2nd. Here comes Lemito down on the bottom. Can't do it this time. He gets out of shape. Drops back to 3. Skidger set to the 4th spot. Here comes Childs and Caruso. As they head off the 4th turn, down to the line they come once again. Popsicle sticks are in the air. It is George Bissett, Benavir, Lemito, Skidger, and Caruso. Followed by Childs in the final qualifying spot. John Mayberry tries to move in and pick up the position, but can't quite do it. 6 is the magic number. Count them back. It is Childs who sits in the final qualifying spot. White flag is out this time. 1 lap to go. John Mayberry tries to make the move. It'll give him the final qualifying spot as Mike Quintiliano moves in as a contender with car number 59. Down the back straightaway, George the Mad Dog Bissett's going to have himself an easy victory as car number 39 heads to the winner's circle and takes down the win. Lemitone in for 2nd, Benavir in for 3rd, 4th is Skidger, 5th is Caruso. And the 6th and final qualifying spot goes to Peter Childs with car number 31. John Mayberry will have to do it through the consolation event along with Mike Quintiliano and the remainder of the field. So,
Mike Kalanoff is ready to go as well, and Mike will be joining you in just a couple of minutes, but we're about ready to get underway here. Off the turn, here they come down to the line. Green flag is out. And it is the 25 of Kevin Allen that jumps out to take the lead in turn number 1. Larry Vincent, brand new colors for him as Allen gets way out of shape down on the inside of the racetrack, drops back about 7 spots in the process, and that leaves Brad Boisenoff out in front. New colors for him as well, and as he crosses the stripe, it is JoJo's Autobody, car number 36 for Boisenoff, in the lead. Next, it is the 17 of Larry Vincent, and then the 4 of Tom Butler. Those are the top 3. Jim Smith wheels car number 81, and then Don Wood in the 51. That's how they run as they work their way off of turn number 4, across the stripe and back down to the line. 2 laps to close it up in the Western Racing Series scoreboard. The 36 of Brad Boisenoff setting the pace off the turn as Tom Butler gets way up high with the 4. Here comes the 4X of Camp Briggs and the 41 of Aki Mazziotto. Boisenoff is beginning to open things up here to a point where he has about a 5-car length advantage over Larry Vincent, the local driver in car number 17. Jim Smith in the 81, bearing right down in the rear bumper of the 17, and knocking on the door is the 51 of Don Wood. Then Mazziotto in the 41 and Butler in the 4 are really slugging it out as Mazziotto finds running room down low. He slides into position number 5 and drops the 4, the yellow number 4, back to the 6th and final qualifying spot. Right now, the 4X of Jeff Reese, 1 spot out. Then we're back to the 00 of Tony Membrino and the 123 of Doug D'Alessandro. Back to the head of this class, we find the 36 of Brad Boisenhoff on a nice Saturday afternoon drive around the half mile with only 2 laps left to run. 2 circuits for Boisenhoff, and he exits turn number 4, brings it right up to the wall and crosses the line. 2-lap marker shown to the field from the start-finish line. Scott Baldelli in car number 10, way off the pace as he keeps the car down low. Mechanical problem sidelining him from this event. 51 of Don Wood. Rocky Mazziotto in car number 41, also doing a great job with that automobile. And Jeff Reese has managed to put the black number 4X into the final qualifying spot. 6 cars make the move.
Off the 4th turn. They'll pick up the pace just a bit. Dual flags in hand, the yellow and the green. He addresses turn number 4. The green flag is out and they're underway. Mamlajana tries to make it 3 wide into turn number 1. He takes over the lead, drifts up a bit, loses some valuable ground. We've got McCarthy slamming the wall hard with car number 34. He gets it out of chunk in a move that almost appeared masterful. Pleased with someone in the lineup. McCarthy being sent back to his car as they do a little bit of readjusting in the restart lineup. But the McCarthy car shows the worst of the wear. Deep into turn number 3. Off the 4th turn. They come down again. And the green flag is out. Bennett leads the charge. Tracy on the bottom. Inside lane. Falters just a bit. Outside lane. Moves on by. It is Bennett. Sperry. Look out. Here comes Mamlajana. Zarnecki bounced around just a bit. They swap a little paint. Charette looks for some racing room on the bottom with car number 711. Roger Charette puts the number 711 to the inside of Mamlajana. Will he be able to do it as they come off the turn down the back straightaway? That's the battle now currently for position number 3. Mamlajana takes it in deep. Charette challenges on the outside. Johnson right there on his back bumper. Bennett brings it back to the line. Sperry still in second. Mamlajana comes to 3. Charette still setting in the 4th spot. Sperry now goes to the outside of Bennett. Can't do it this time. As Mamlajana is right there as a factor. Charette making it 4 cars contending for 1 spot. Position number 1. As they come off the turn, Bennett still brings them back to the line. Sperry right there as a factor in the outside lane. Mamlajana, Charette still contending with Johnson and Kevin Zarnecki. 6 to make the move. Zarnecki in the final qualifying spot. Bennett now drops back to 2. But at the line, he's buried by a bumper. Tracy Robbins goes spinning. Back up. Here comes Mamlajana on the outside of Bennett. Winds it up tight. Off the turn. Mamlajana up to 2nd. Bennett drops back to 3. Charette in the 4th spot. As Johnson contends with Zarnecki. Off the turn. When they come back to the line, obstacle sticks are up. 2 to go. Sperry leads Mamlajana. Bennett holds off Charette. Here comes Charette to the bottom. Can't do it. Johnson waits in the wing. Zarnecki hunted down by Rich Vassar. Vassar contending for the final qualifying spot. This time the white flag is out as Mamlajana tries to take over the number 1 spot. in turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. The battle has suddenly become a battle for the final qualifying spot. But off the turn, it is Bruce Berry who'll take down the win. Mama Jonathan for second. Bennett is for third. Surrett for 4. Johnson for 5. And 6 goes to Kevin Zarnecki, the final qualifying spot.
Out of Wild Lucy, Pennsylvania, he drives car number 71, the Preston and Preston Lumber Chevrolet. Peter Locke behind the controls of the pace car. He'll bring it down low to the inside. Now it drops down to the apron of the Speedway in turn number 3. Here it is, heat number 1 for the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour. The jet with the hammer down sees the green flag from Bill Long as he in turn number 1 they go. It is Tomeno grabbing the lead. Doug Hebron makes a move to the bottom work as he runs the number 2 spot down the back straightaway. John Preston is third. Johnny Bush fourth. And Spires rounds out the top 5. Out of turn 4, nose to tail action, courtesy of the NASCAR Winston Modified. Jamie Tomeno, the Danny Morgan BP Racing Fuels Pontiac continues to show the way. Doug Hebron has been as fast as he can. Running in the third spot is still John Preston in the 71 as he looks to the high side now to the low side of the Speedway out of turn number 4. It is Preston will now shut the door and he'll maintain the number 2 spot. Again, third is Preston, fourth still Johnny Bush, but Eddie Spires looking for racing room in car number 37. Cars going here car number 22 of Cameretti. Started back in the 12th spot. He's having his problems as these cars now come out of turn number 4. Cameretti to the bottom of the Speedway in turns 1 and 2. Hebron still runs second. It is Preston third in car number 71. Then Johnny Bush fourth. Spires rounds out the top 5. But here comes the veteran Bob Park. Bob Park, he's going for it. Modified four down to the number 6 spot. 4 cars to qualifying in this event. So the man on the bubble is number 16, John Wood. Bill Long lets the boys know that halfway down, and we are halfway home. And this first Jamie Tomeno gets very qualifying. He continues to show the way. He shows it to some very impressive company. Doug Hebron out of the number 2 spot as far as the Winston Modified Tour point of view is concerned. John Preston will knock on his back door. Great run at the top. Anyway, Bush goes on the racetrack. Spires take it back. That will move to the low side down the back straightaway. He is now in a qualifying spot. Now Bush will have to work as he works it back bumper out of turns 3 and 4. Tomeno, Hebron, Preston, but the man that wants it so very badly is one of the 18 classic cars, Chevrolet, of Johnny Bush. Gentlemen, we're going to see now number 19. Bob Park, T2, looking for qualifying here in this first heat. 2 laps remain according to Bill Long as he goes to the line. Showing the way, Doug Hebron is. Well, Jamie Tomeno from Howell, New Jersey, hang on for 1.5 laps with himself a spot. Run tomorrow for the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour. The checkered flag is in the air. Here comes Jamie Tomeno from the line, along with John and Eddie Spires.
Those 4 will make the transition and move to the fall final for the NASCAR Modified Tour. Bill Long on the starter stand. He looks the field over. They'll head off turn number 4, tightly packed. They anticipate the green. 10 laps the distance. Off the 4th turn, the green flag is out. George Brunhustle runs to the inside. Kent and Brunhustle make contact. George Kent gathers it back nicely and still somehow maintains the lead. Down the back straightaway, the battle becomes the battle for 3. Ferrante on the inside. Here comes Brunhustle down low. George Kent still contending in the outside lane as they come back to the line. Number 1, Brunhustle sets in second. Hasbjack waits in the wing. A tap to the bumper. They come off turn 2. Tom Bowles moves into the fray. 1 spot away from a qualified spot. Ferrante sets in the final qualifying spot. Off the turn, single file, bumper to bumper. They come back to the line. All over Ferrante, contending for that final qualifying spot. Wayne Anderson breaks away. He now sets to the 6th spot. But gets to reach the turn number 3. 2 laps up to the big board. Run up the reels are back in. Pastriak cautiously sets in 3rd. Ferrante looks low color car number 76 for Bowles, who anticipates contending for that final qualifying spot. Turn number 3. Run Hustle still setting in 2nd. Off the turn, back down to the line. They come again. At the final transition point. Down the back straightaway. Again, still leads them. George Run Hustle still sets in 2nd. This time, the cross flag. Halfway down, halfway to go. They head off the turn. George Kent still in command. Tom Bull still not in the qualified spot. One spot away, he makes the bid for it. Can't do it this time. The consolation of Ben will be impressive. And Bowles right there with Ferrante, he lets him know he's there. This lap up to the left side, running out. Circuit remains in this one. Tom Bowles is all over the back bumper of Tony Ferrante. And George Run Hustle reels in on the back bumper of George Kent. Still sets the pace. Run Hustle right there. Can't quite do it. And Kent still leads them. This time, they'll head on turn number 4. Obstacle 6 are in the air. 2 circuits to go. Run Hustle flies again. He looks at the bottom. Can't quite do it. Yes, gets the white. Takes it back. Off the turn, the white flag will surrender to the checkers. There is 1:30 to go. Final lap to tell the story. 4 cars makes the transition. The rest will do it in the consolation event. Bowles has 5, but time has run out. George Kent brings them back to the line. On turn 4, Kent takes down the win. Run up to his perspective. Pastriak with 3. Ferrante takes down the 4th and final transition point as he secures the qualified positions in the fall final. Tommy Bowles, Wayne Anderson, S.J. Avanson, and Richie Gallup, along with Bruce D'Alessandro and Chris Benson Woods, will have to do it in the consolation event.
The lot drops down low the inside, brings the Pontiac to the inside apron of the Speedway. Tim Airy on the bottom, and Lemke Jr. on the top. Bill Long with the flags in hand looks the field over as they come out of turn 4 and rows of 2. The green flag will now fly 10 laps of exciting NASCAR. Immediately side-by-side battle, but now Tim Airy jumps to the lead down the back straightaway out of turn number 2, and the number 2 car number 11. Those two will duke it out for the number 2 spot out of turns 3 and 4. Chris Kopech waiting in the wings to car number 2. Still a good battle for the number 2 spot with Hyatella to the inside, Lemke to the outside, but they all change. Tim Airy down the back straight to take the turns 3 and 4. Now Hyatella with the advantage out of turn 3 will take over the number 2 spot. Lemke runs 3rd. 4th spot is still Chris Kopech. Richard Avery will look for race now to the high side to lead that 4th and final ball box. As the field comes in turn number 4. We have a problem with Frank Sattler, car number 74, in turn number 2. He spins it to the inside. As of yet, we'll keep our eyes into a turn number 2. Green remains out. And Eric on the bottom number 99. Number 1 spot. Still running second, Brad Hyatella, good run for him, looking to qualify for the fall final 100. And then Lemke Jr., he now has the company of Chris Kopech to the bottom. It is Kopech to the inside, now Lemke to the outside, they go shorthand with a turn 3, 4, and now the gentleman has joined the party without an invitation is the number 91 of Richard Savory, but on his back bumper, it's Speedway, turns 3 and 4. The hammers are down for the NASCAR Modifying Tour as they come out of turn 4. The green flag is in the air. 7 laps down, 3 remain for Tim Carey. Car number 99. Grant Hyatt also runs the number 2 spot. Then he is in front of hold down the fourth and final qualifying spot with Richard Savory looking to move down to the bottom side of the speedway out of turn number 4. Final qualifying. 150 lap qualifying afternoon. Carey, Hyatt, hoping the top 4 automobiles. They will all face the white flag as they come out of turns number 3 and 4. Carey, Helen in the number 54, then it is Phil. Lefty runs third, car number 11, Chris Bowman is fourth. Savory looks like he might be facing the consolation event, car number 91. Here they come out of turn number 4 and back to the line. Henry will take it on and go. Over to the last ball, final gear tomorrow.
Down to the line they come. Green flag. It looks like Nordman has a slight advantage as they enter the turn, but he gets way up high as he makes contact with the 28 of Prosco. Everybody is able to make it through, believe it or not, but way out in front is car number 32 for Eric Kearns. Kearns will lead the field off of turn number 4 and back down to the line to complete the first circuit, running in the second spot. 31. So to Kearns and Doyle. And now the 176 of Manafort takes a hard hit into turn number 1. You can see a lot of damage done to that race car. As Manafort literally got backed right into that first turn Armco barrier. He is constantly, you can tell just from the appearance of the car itself that a considerable amount of damage was done to it, to the infield. Eric Kearns and Dennis Doyle bringing the field around. We'll look for a restart this time by. Here they come. Green flag is out. Kearns jumps on the throttle in the black number 32X. Challenges now with the 72 as he is up into the third spot. Then it is the 31 of Dennis Doyle running in the second position. Scott Booley, car number 26, moves into position 4, and rounding out the top 5, it is Wayne Saplick in the 74. Back across the line they come, down into the number 32 continues to lead the charge. Dennis Doyle with his hands full as Brian Crunden takes a peek to the inside. Crunden pulls right up the door handle as they head into turn number 3. Crunden on the inside groove. Doyle up on the high groove. Dennis gets a little bit too high, and when he does, Brian Crunden grabs the second spot. So it's sitting this way. The 32 of Eric Kearns, the 72 of Brian Crunden, the 31 of Dennis Doyle, the 26 of Scott Booley, and the 74 of Wayne Saplick. Then it is car number 5 for Dave Nordman. Teddy Ebert wheels car number 7. 174 of Roger Sawyer. And rounding up the field is the 28 of Marvin Prosco. Back to the front of the field, it is the 32, Eric Kearns leading the charge, but now Brian Crunden has managed to reel in the rear bumper of the 32. One press for the lead. Crunden looks to the high side. Kearns keeps the car down low. They exit turn 2, head down the back straightaway. Crunden tries to close in, and he does as they enter turn number 3. Right on the rear bumper of Kearns. They play bumper tag off the corner and down the front chute. This time, Kearns opens up towards turn 1 and 2. Some liquid appears to be coming out from underneath the 72 of Brian Crunden. So let's keep a close eye on that. As we find ourselves in the waning laps of this qualifying round for the Pro Stock cars. Crunden takes a peek to the inside, changes his mind very quickly. White flag is out. One more circuit. So far, it is the 32 of Eric Kearns to bring them around, and it looks like he will take down the win. Kearns will grab the win, followed by Brian Crunden. Then it will be Dennis Doyle, Don Boulay, William Savlik, Dave Nordman, Ken Ebert, and Roger Sawyer.
Off the turn, Bill Long looks them over. They come back to the line. The green flag is on halfway. Policeman at turn number 1. Jim Lyons challenges on the bottom. Contact is made. Lyons goes around. As Wade Gagner has no place to go. And another car is also involved in the mix-up there. 69 car, we believe it might be. Bill Long looks things over. Kopeck, Manafort, Joe Seeger, Billy Lordson, and Perino. They come off the turn. The green flag is down. Kopeck leading in turn number 1. Manafort runs the outside. Here comes Seeger down low. They come off the second turn. Challenge is already on for second, but Manafort has the horsepower to maintain the spot. Lordson on the inside. Bumper. Lordson lets Seeger know that he's right there to contend. They come off the turn. Here comes Lordson on the bottom. Can't do it this time. And Zeidema now sets him a 4th spot. 5th spot is now for Reno as they come back to the line. He is and picks up the spot from the Manafort car, which once led this qualifying round. 8 cars get to the qualifying. Kopeck going at the front of the class. Seeger setting in second. Lordson still in third. Zeidema's got the 4th spot. Here's the challenge for second. Left the door open. Lordson moves on in. He now sets in second. Seeger drops back to 3. Zeidema for 4. Membrino's got 5. 6. Is Membrino. Perino's got 5. Manafort 7. For the 8th spot. 4 laps are up on the board in this 8-lap qualifying event. Kopeck is running away with the show. Still on now for the 3rd spot. And Zeidema has moved into 3rd. Seeger drops back to 4. Here comes Perino on the bottom. Membrino waits in the wing. The time is starting to run out. Down the back straightaway. It is Kopeck. This time. Receive the white flag. 1 lap to go. Final 38 time to qualify. Kopeck has an easy victory. Car number M6. Lordson will finish in the runner-up spot. Zeidema's got 3rd. Perino for 4th. We're in the battle for 5th. Perino takes over the 5th spot. 7th is Manafort, and the 8th and final qualifying spot goes to car number 9 for Sonny Fuega.
As track championships are concerned, this is a very, very important weekend for all 3 of the regular divisions that compete here at the Speedway. Bill Long winds it up, lets them go, and Benefit gets a great jump into turn number 1. And black number 38 runs out in front. But here comes Tim Lediga up to the outside of Richie G. Lediga gets a good fight as he moves into the 2nd spot. Lou Pryor right there with car number 74 as is Richie G. Marty Membrino. 4 cars running nose to tail, all challenging for position number 3, and Lediga drops way off the pace with car number 10. Suddenly, the car seems to pick up steam again, and off the turn, Jim Lydica is able to hold on for second. And moments ago has completely disappeared as both Rosati and the 74 of Pryor are right there just knocking at the door. Lydica is able to hold on as Pryor works to the high side of Rosati. Meanwhile, Bennett continues to lead. He's way out front with the 38. Lydica runs second. Rosati third. Fourth spot is Pryor in car number 74. The sixth car of Craig Kovacs makes contact with the wall, and apparently there is some debris out on the racetrack, so the caution flag is out. And the top of the point standings. In so doing, caution gets thrown to the wind many times, and some truly great races evolve. Speaking of races, Bennett comes out in front one more time. Bennett, Lydica, the 07 of Rosati, the 74 of Lou Pryor, and the 0 of Membrino. Here comes the 2 of McCallum. Jerry Markey, the 1991 NASCAR Northeast Regional Champion, working his way to the front of the right now, car number 8, or the 8th on the grid, is the 73 of Jerry Markey. Bennett and Lydica really slugging it out for the lead here, as Timmy did not let Bennett get ahead on that. Bennett keeps the car down low. Tim Lydica looks for running room, as does Rosati. 74 of Pryor right there knocking at the door, and the 0 of Membrino. Jim McCallum also wants to be part of the action here tomorrow, and he too finds himself in the qualifying. Jerry Martin will come alongside tonight to Tom Byrne as the top 8 cars run nose to tail. Byrne takes a peek underneath the 2 of McCallum. Can't make the move, but he has on the outside the 73 of Jerry Markey. One half mile remains to run, and Bennett goes around. Lydica tags him. Rosati is involved in the mess. The whole field scrambles. And how will this one shake out? The caution flag comes out. And apparently, we will run for the last lap of this one. Now, Brad Bennett is out of the race car and obviously is not a happy camper. And he is looking for Tim Lydica. Now we see how this whole thing shapes up in terms of a restart. To the infield, 7 laps are up on the scoreboard. Here they come, back down to the line. Who will have a slight advantage into turn number 1, but he's in the high groove, and Tom Rosati puts the hammer down on the 07, the Teddy Bear Fools car, and they run door handle to door handle down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Rosati on the inside. The 74 of Pryor up on the high side. Membrino runs next. And taking down the wind, car number 07 for Tom Rosati. Then it was the 74G. So those are the cars that find themselves with qualified spots for tomorrow's feature event.
Meeting was his fortune initially. Let's see what's going to happen. They pick up the pace. The green flag is out. They're underway. Bennett leads him into turn number 1. But the pressure is on. Suddenly, in the middle of the pack, Bo Gunning is in a mix-up with a 33. The Rock pulls away. O'Donnell is involved. Kerslack is involved again. a 96 machine involved in the melee of the mix-up there. Gunning just continues to have no luck at all. Chris Jones in the number 99 moves to the outside of Bennett. Mercier, George Kent.
Steve Shawanski is second. Bobby Georgiadis, after a great 1991, is sitting third. Only some 56 points behind the leader, Bob Potter.
Officially 18 cars scheduled to contend for those 6 qualified spots. The attrition has been high. There is no laps up on the board. It's a repeat performance of what we've seen on the initial start. Hopefully this one will live in the record book. Lap number 1. Number 1, Bennett looks the same as he did last time. A little bit of smoke further back in the pack. Battle is on for second. Bobby Mercier tries to keep it nice and low. He stands on the throttle. Takes up the number 2 spot. Here comes Steve Lombardo on the inside. He puts the pressure on Chris Jones as they come off the turn. Lombardo is now up to third. George Kent now contends on the inside of Jones. Jones gets sideways. Lombardo goes around. And the Rock sneaks on down through the grass. Lombardo has had no luck at all here today, and his bad luck continues as the caution flag comes out. They'll pick up the pace just a bit. Off the turn, Bennett takes command once again. Very strong, challenging Mercier. Mercier not as strong on the outside as they head into turn number 2. Tucks it back into position number 3. George Kent now moves into the 4th spot and on a roll is car number 96 for Kurt Brannert. They work their way back to the line. The Brannert car is driven in this consolation event by Jerry Marquis. There's a driver's change for you. Marquis now sets in the 5th spot. Number 3 off the 4th turn. Kent looks to go to the outside of Mercier. It's in for position number 3. They wind him up tight. Green flag is out. And Bennett leads them as the Rock is down on the grass. Adjust the crops a bit. And Jerry Marquis is now moved into position number 3. Chris Jones tries to hold on. 4th spot as George Kent moves in down low. Jerry Marquis sets in the 3rd position as Bennett leads Mercier. Marquis is 3rd. Kent's got 4. Jones has got 5, and the Rock sets in the final qualifier. But the Rock isn't satisfied with 6. He makes a bid for 5th. Ron Rocco completes the mission. Now he sets his sights on George Kent. Steve Lombardo just out of contention for a qualified spot. Check that. He now finds himself in for a qualified spot. Bennett over Mercier, Marquis, Kent, Ron Rocco, and Steve Lombardo. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Final circuit. 6 will make the move. Marquis pressured heavily by George Kent. He's going to turn number 3. Black and white. Checker flag is waving. It is over Mercier, Jerry Marquis, George Kent, Ronnie Rocco, and Steve Lombardo takes down the final qualified spot. So the Winston Racing Series is now qualified in history,
making the move into the feature event. Some of the cars that we called off, unable to make the call. Let's see how it all shakes down. Off the turn they come, down to the line. Green flag is out. jumping out in front to take the advantage. Butler now looks to make the move down low. Mayberry follows suit with car number 7. 2 or 3 cars get way up high in turn number 1. Everybody gathers it back together nicely as we head toward turn number 4. Your new leader is Tom Butler in the 4. McLean and Mayberry round out the top 3. Then way up high, it is car number 10. And that is the 10 of Lincoln. They work their way off of the second turn down that long back straightaway. Headed for turn number 3. Doug D'Alessandro, car number 123, and Scott Foster also looking to make it to the front of this pack. Off the turn and down to the line. The late model, Jake and Bates. They shuffle the deck again as Mayberry now challenges for the lead. Car number 85 hangs on for the 3rd spot. Only 6 cars make the move into the feature event, and we've got a slider down through the infield. It appears to be the 56 Jimmy Fuller. We'll have to double check on that. The car has come to a rest just off the racetrack on the back straightaway. We have reached the halfway point, and it is John Mayberry and Butler running 1-2, but the yellow flag is out. Apparently the word is not good, so Fuller will pull that car into the infield. Green flag back out. Here comes Mayberry and Butler off the turn down to the line. It is John Mayberry, Tom Butler, Rich Master running 1, 2, 3. Only 6 cars make the move, 3 wide off the turn. D'Alessandro gets booted around. Membrino goes up, makes hard contact with the wall. He spins around, does a couple of loops. The 34 of Ledger has gone around. The yellow flag is out, and the 25 of Kevin Allen takes a run down through the infield. So a lot of equipment is damaged that time around. Okay. Green flag is back out, and as they exit turn 4, down to the line they come. John Mayberry and Tom Butler running 1-2. Mayberry down on the inside, Butler up on the high side. McLean gets a little bit loose, but is able to hold on as Vassar takes the high road, moves into 3rd. Here comes the 22 of Foster. Scott Foster tries to get down low. No room that time, has to drop it back. Up on the high side with car number 59 is Mike Quintiliano. Running right up on the rail is Johnny Ledger. Gets booted around and does some booting himself. In the meantime, Foster is now out of business as he finds himself scrambling from the infield to get back out onto the racetrack. Down across the stripe, Mayberry all by himself. Mike Quintiliano in car number 59 with a terrific run here this afternoon. Finds running room underneath the 4 of Butler. He brings Vassar right along with him, but Vassar is not able to make the move as cleanly as Quintiliano, and Vassar has to drop back in. So it is the 7 of Mayberry leading the charge, followed by Mike Quintiliano, the 4 of Butler, the 10 of Vassar. The 34 has received the black flag. We'll double check on that. He had been told to go to the rear and did not. So that will end John Ledger's day. Meanwhile, checkered flag is out. Here they come. Final opportunity. The top 6. It'll be Mayberry, Quintiliano, Vassar. The 114. We'll sit tight on this until the until the scorers come up with a final finish on this one. John Mayberry, no question about it, the winner of this event, and a great run for Mike Quintiliano in car number 59.
23 cars will come to post for this, the final opportunity for qualification for the 150 lap fall final. Will be run here tomorrow at the Stafford Springs Speedway. John Bush is on the inside. Tom Bowles to the outside in car number 76. Top 4 cars over the line. The competitors are ready. Bill Long is ready. Even Doug Hebron is ready as we watch the cars come out of turns number 3 and 4. Watch now Johnny Bush from Huntington Station, New York. Ring the field. Out for it. Back to the line. The green flag is in the air. Good turn bar action with Johnny Bush on the inside. The 68 he has company to his right. That's the 76 of Tom Bowles who grabs the end. Down the back straight and watching turns 3 and 4. Tom Bowles has now grabbed the one car number 76. He's followed by Johnny Bush in the 68. Then it is 91. We have a problem here with one on its roof right here on the main straightaway and into turn number 1. That is car number 50 of Richard Clark, making his first appearance of the 1991 season here at Stafford. See actually what transpired to put Richard Clark on his roof as the car sits now in turn number 1. And the word from the scene is that Richard Clark is A-OK and he is out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. A wild ride here at Stafford. Riding on his roof from the start-finish line right into turn number 1. But first and foremost, of course, the concern of the driver and Richard Clark is A-OK. Richard Clark, who is involved in the melee in turn number 1, has run here quite a few times over the years, as well as the Thompson International Speedway. He was at one time a regular at the Riverhead Raceway, and before that, the now defunct Islip Speedway. And over the past few years, he has also competed in some Winston Modified Tour events. Ben Dodge.
No laps have been completed. We'll do a complete restart on this race as soon as the Richard Clark car is removed from the turn 1 area. In addition, tomorrow at 10:30, there will be a chapel service, an interdenominational chapel service toward turn 1 on the midway, and it will be right there at the pit gate. That is at 10:30 tomorrow morning. The roof of the car, before getting drop kicked off of the wall in turn 1. From here, the Modified Tour goes to the Thompson International Speedway for the World Series of Speedway Racing, when at this point almost has to do nothing more than just simply start the events. He appears to be in that good a shape, and that's somewhat unique because the last several seasons, the championship has been something decided right at the wire.
Still race just as hard as he can, and that'll be evident tomorrow afternoon when 32 of America's stars, the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour, will take the green flag for 150 laps of action.
Sure, of that car. The roll cage in particular remained intact, and that is really what it's all about. The sheet metal is something that can very easily be replaced. And yet the structural members, which consist of not only the cage, but all of the bracing that goes along with it, the chassis and the nose of the race car, all in good shape, and of course the fuel cell did its job too.
Russ, I've just come back from the scene of the incident, and you did mention, as I mentioned before, the roll cage.
In turns 3 and 4, Johnny Bush on the point, Tom Bowles, his neighbor. Watch Bill Long with the green flag as they come out of turns 3 and 4, and Long sends them on their way. Good job for Tom Bowles, the number 76. He grabs line. Bill Long with the flags in hand says, Number down. He sees the green flag. The entire field backered away as they come back to the stripe. Tom Bowles will lead them through. Third and good battle for number 4 spot. Wayne Anderson on the bottom. Bob Park on the top. As those gentlemen go door handle, let him turn number 2. Tom Bowles leads the way. Johnny Bush second. Third is Savory. Look at that battle with Wayne Anderson to the 0. He now takes the spot away. All the action is number 82 of Dan Washington. Your nose to tail as they come out of turn number 2. As Savory now has some problems on the back straightaway, he makes contact with the 42 of Tim Connolly. And the line we just played today. And the rest of his peers as they move out of turns number 3 and 4. Tom Bowles with a hammer down. He sees the green flag, and we're back racing at Stafford. Here comes Tom Bowles back to the line. He's got company with John Buckley. Number 82 of Dan Washington. He's got virtually under control, but he'll draw the tail into the field. Down the back straightaway, it is Tom Bowles, John Bush on front, who's in the third. And here comes car number 9, Bruce D'Alessandro into the party. Wayne Anderson with the 0 is working high to the outside in turn number 4. He's over the top 4 spots. Back to the front. Tom Bowles to show the way. 3.5 laps now. Bit complete. It is John Bush, the number 2 spot, 19 of Bob Park. He runs third. Looking for racing room on the bottom this time is Bruce D'Alessandro in car number 9, but he has the company of Richard Savory. Both guys now on the field with number 1 and 2. Wayne Anderson looking possibly for another caution flag to close the gap just a little bit. But if he's going to make a move, he better make it now as we are halfway through. Halfway down, halfway to go for Tom Bowles. And Bowles in the Jeep. And we have a caution flag now displayed. D'Alessandro has been a nice bid for that 4th and final qualifying spot. Pace car to the bottom, green flag is down. Here comes the NASCAR monoplane tour. Tom Bowles with the hammer down. Good move to the inside. This time with a nice Johnny Bush with the number 68. Top 4 automobiles are Tom Bowles, Johnny Bush, the 19 of Bob Park, Bruce D'Alessandro still holding down that 4th spot. Wayne Anderson in the back. He is stumping the top of number 42 of Tim Connolly. So he looks for racing room as they come out of 4. Now we're halfway down. Still holds the point. In car number 76. Tom Bush still running strong for number 2 spot. Bob Park is 3rd, 4th. D'Alessandro 5th. It's Savory now with a burst of speed out of 4. We'll look to the bottom, but he cannot negotiate. Move to the inside. Number 5 spot with 6 laps now up on the board. Tom Bowles out of Vernon, Connecticut. Looking to hold on to that number 1 spot. His back bumper. Third is still Park on the 19. And when they come out of turn number 4, the Fox goes next to him for 2 laps remaining. Going to go this time with Tom Bowles in car 76. John Bush running Bob Park is still third. Bruce D'Alessandro being pressured now by Savory down the back straightaway. Savory tucked into his back bumper now to back off just a little bit. White flag is out. 1 lap remains for Tom Bowles. Down the back straightaway, they move it out. They'll negotiate turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag has been displayed again. All up in turn number 2. Chris Benson Wood had spun that car up in 2. But the checkered flag comes down, and car number 76, Tom Bowles out of Vernon, Connecticut, will take the nod, and he will indeed secure himself a spot for the 150-lap fall final tomorrow afternoon here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The number 2 spot was John Bush in car number 68. The 19 of Bob Park was 3rd. Bruce D'Alessandro with a very impressive effort rounded out the top 4. So the field is set for the fall final tomorrow. for the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour. And moving out onto the Speedway, Pro Stock action at its best. And here again,
here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, this will determine all of the cars in all of the features here tomorrow. Bill Long steers them down. Here they come. The green flag is out. And as we head for turn number 1, it is a toss-up, and Brad Bennett dives down to the bottom of the racetrack, and he will pick up the lead with car number 38. In the 50 is Jim Lyons from Stafford Springs. Lyons runs in that second spot, and then it is Tim Lediga in the 10, looking to find running room underneath Lyons. 69 runs next. Off the turn and down the backstretch. Here comes Lediga. He found running room underneath the 50 of Lyons. And Lediga now begins to zero in on the rear bumper of the 38 of Bennett. Scoreboard. And Lediga gets a little bit loose. When he does, D'Alessandro finds running room underneath, and here comes Wade Gagner in that flying 7. Gagner puts the Mayberry car down low, trying to make the move. Cannot make the move as Tim Lediga holds on with car number 10. So it is Bennett, Bruce Dell a little bit loose in turn 1, followed by Lediga, the 7 of the Mayberry car for Wade Gagner as they round the turn and head for the start-finish line. Halfway, Marker is out. Richie Ruggiero now making his presence felt with that black number 32. As it stands right now, the 6th car is the 50 of Jimmy Lyons. And only 6 will make the move into the feature events. Back across the track they come. Bruce Dell, car number 69, setting the pace, followed by Bennett, the 38. The 10 of Lediga. And the 7th of Gagner. Only 2 laps remain to be run in this into the feature event here tomorrow. Tim Lediga looks to the inside of Bennett. Into the turn. Bennett gets way out of shape when he does. 2 cars, not only Lediga, but Gagner slides underneath and pick up the spot. Bennett struggling. Ruggiero is right there with the 32 as well. Flag is out. Frank grabs the win. Followed by Lediga, Gagner, Bennett, Ruggiero, and Lyons. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Fall Final Weekend here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We also want to make sure that we remind you.
Another driver's change, driving car number 24. It'll be George Greco Jr. out of Stratford, Connecticut.
Then we go to car number 41, and the driver of the 41, Rocco Mazziano, who wheels car number 41 here at the Stafford Speedway for Fall Final Weekend. And alongside of him is car number 76. The driver of the 76 is Rodney Renshaw.
Schedule to start on the 23rd starting position. Driving the sponsor one of the team. Car number 7X of Bob Benura. Outside of him, the 4X of Jeff Freese. Then it's John Mayberry. Mike trouble now. We've got him sideways. It is Herb Bennett who has locked horns with car number 17 for Larry Pinson. Pinson headed around and facing the wrong way. That turns him scrambling not only down through the infield with sheet metal flying onto the Benura car, but that'll bring out a caution just as things with is about to begin. First caution comes out with no laps in the record books in turns 1 and 2.
So we've got the Greco car, the Vincent's car, the Badura car, and Herb Bennett all involved.
Meanwhile, Vincent brings the Stafford Auto Salvage car, the rubbish removal machine that's up for sale back towards the pits. Herb Bennett looking to get to the pits, and Bob Badura with the door literally bent back, kind of exposing the roll cage of the car. Now Greco
will play a very large role, determining just who will take home the crown in each of the 3 divisions here. The Winston Racing Series Modifieds, Pro Stocks, and the models.
The Pontiac Excitement machine is back in the center of the infield, and that only means one thing. Chris Hopkins stares him down off turn number 4, the double green is flying. Getting down up to set the base out front. Boys ball right there in the number 2 spot. Look out, here comes Giles down beneath Caruso as they head down the back straightaway. That will become the battle for position number 3. There's no question about it. Caruso takes it as deeper than most. He takes over the 3rd spot. Giles drops back to 4. Here comes Bob Lagonis on the outside. He sets the position number 5.
Right to the 9, Ben Adams. Here comes Caruso down low as well. Putting up a challenge for the second. Up alongside the Brad Yorkshire. Here's turn number 2. They go. Here's the 5 of Adams. Set the base. Here comes Caruso. He is out ahead and at the line.
It is Caruso, manages to squeak in, move on by. He's got position number 2. Looks back at the competition. He Smith tries to work his way among the top 10 cars. But here they come, back to the line. It is Leo Jim Adams who leads them. Right there in second is Caruso. Third is
Bob Lagonis now takes a look to the inside of the turn 1 child. Down the back straightaway they go. All through together, heading towards the front of the back. Here comes the fastest driver in the division.
Look at the lead. It's about to change in turn 1. Medivere tags the wall just in front of the Stafford marking for the first turn. No question about it as it's coming. In turn number 3, and off that 4th turn, it is still the 5 of Leo Jim Adams who brings them back to the line. But the heat is on. The pressure is there. Puts the hammer down. Caution comes out of the field as the Medivere car is the car that brings out the caution. Part of the 37 is the car that brings out the second caution of the afternoon Motor Speedway. Well, in rows of 2, they're ready to go the distance, side by side and equally matched. They'll head down the back straightaway. There are 5 laps up on the Winston Racing Series scoreboard. Larry Vincent has come back out of the pit area, and he'll pick up at the back of the field. In turn number 4, they wind up high to the Spears, and in car number 5, it sets the pace in the front of the field. Back down to the line. Because it is car number 88 for Bob Stitcher, challenging number 8 of Dan Tusky to get off turn number 2. For the turn number 3, Caruso's got it all closed up, but that's not good enough. As they come off the 4th turn, Leo Jim Adams, the door is suddenly open on the inside. Will he be able to take over number 1 spot?
Well, down low. It works between 1 and 2, and the 12 of Caruso. Down the left front.
Gets on to 6, going around the Winston Racing Speedway, turn number 2. That will bring out another caution, and it will be a heartbreaking situation for Caruso. Just to go the lead on the lap of the company flag out. They'll start to pick up the pace deep into turn number 3. Jim Adams stands on the throttle. The green flag is out. Caruso on his back bumper. He taps it, lets him know he's there off the turn. Caruso's strategy is to try to look for him. Here comes Caruso on the bottom. Meanwhile, the bid is for position number 3. Down the back straightaway, it is Bob Lagonis who moves to the inside of Borzloff, trying to take over the spot in turn number 3.
Jim Lagonis has been running very, very well in the XMR car all year long. Takes a peek now underneath Caruso. But here comes Skinner now, as then Tarski gets up high in turn 1 and 2, and Don Wood slides into the jump does. Caruso
turn number 2. Caruso has taken over the lead. Butler has a problem and flies to the center of the infield. He is off the fourth turn, but it is Caruso who leads them back to turn number 3. Art Caruso sets the pace. Rio Bim Adams still right there in second. Mamba Jonas has got 3. They come back to the line. It's still Caruso to lead him into turn 1. Our first place one man jumped off. Butler still sits turn number 4. The yellow flag is out. And Butler is apparently unable to fire that car. Today, when the green flag comes back out, they'll put it to the test here at the half-mile race facility.
That test is about to get underway, Ben, as Caruso and Adams now begin to pick up the pace ever so slightly. Green flag is out. Caruso jumps on the throttle. He'll lead them off of turn number 4. Adams runs second here.
They're down on the bottom, trying to make it work. Woods is sideways. Charles is right in there. He's in the thick of things, but it's the star-struck around number 88 for Bobby Skinner. On the outside of Mamba Jonathan makes a real battle for position number 3. Off the fourth turn, Caruso still looking comfortable. Further back in the pack, there's some smoke, but nothing real serious as they head back to one.
But more importantly, the 8 of Chuck Simmons, the witness driver in the division, not having a great run today. Kelly car number 8.
Looking at this for position number 2, the red, white, blue, number 01 for Mamba Jonas has taken over the number 2 spot. Tommy Fern set stop for the racetrack. Turn number 2, car number 71 that is going to be number 711 at this point.
He's going to have to do this very, very quickly, too, because Chris Hopkins is giving the indication to field and crossover and be ready to start the Pontiac pace car back out on the racetrack.
No, just most people on Long Island. Big one.
Ask him for ID. That's the IRS up.
Off the fourth turn, the green flag comes back out of the turn number 1. They've done an impressive job of taking back the runner-up spot. Bobby Skinner finds himself contending with Leo Adams, and the Mad Dog is now setting in position number 3. Down the back straightaway further back, it is Ed Markey. Challenges Wood, Kyle right in front of him. Fred Ford drops out of the competition, but here comes Caruso. Off the turn, a little bit higher this time, brings him back to the line. He's got 3 cars, so he's going to get out of the front of the field. A long way from what we would get to get into turn 2.
Bobby Skinner has managed to get by Ben Adams. Pete Giles sits right directly behind him in the 31. Then there's Doug Tversky in car number 8. Tim Smith on the roll for 51. And Don Wood having a great run today with car number 51. That is the green car sitting back at about 8th or 9th spot. Back to the line, the halfway marker is up.
Halfway to go. Turn number 1. With Mamba Jonas setting in second. It is George Mad Dog Bissett in position number 3. Skinner's got 4. Adams has got 5. 6 is Kyle. 7 is Ed Markey. 8 is a battle between Wood and Smith. And now John Johnson moves in. Johnson is sideways. Quingliano gives him a little bit of help. He goes around. And it is our next one. Got to get back out. This one on the green. Will Johnson be able to fire it back up to the end of turn 2?
It appears as though he is dead in the water from 76, and that may bring out yet another caution. In fact, it does.
First, comes back out for dinner in front of the 7-11.
The practice for any of the divisions that are going to be competing in the World Series house. The 2-day event, the 19th and 20th of October.
Well, apparently the cars are back in their correct restart order. They'll come off the turn much slower this time. The green flag is waving in the air as they work their way back to the line. Caruso shows it was no proof of the lead. It's turn number 1. Look out, here comes George Bissett. He tucks it down low. Bissett is now looking very strong. He puts car number 39 in the second. Mamba Jonas is bounced around a bit by Bissett, but that isn't going to stop him. He'll be right back in the thick of things. Here Kyle Good flags it down low. He comes back on the racetrack. 3 wide. It is car number 17. That's going to bring out a caution for debris on the racetrack.
And that debris is scattered pretty much all the way down the front straightaway. You can see the cars are still scrambling down through turns 1 and 2. It all started when Giles took a ride down through the infield with that red and black number 31. When he came back up onto the racetrack, it was a case of bump and grind. And the pace car is down and into the infield. Art Caruso, George the Mad Dog Bissett. Green flag is out. Jim Smith drops way off the pace, pulls up high out of harm's way.
Turn number one. Caruso's got his hands full, but he's not going to fall to the pressure. It is Caruso who leads him back down the back straightaway to George Mad Dog Bissett. Right there with his back bumper. Robert Donna picks up the third spot. Here's Skinner and Van Tusky. Van Tusky, the 1991 champ, looking strong on the outside. As they work their way back to the line, it is car number 24. Greco goes around turn number 4. Greco be able to get it fired back up. We believe that car might have already lost a lap earlier. But what's going to happen down the back straightaway, deep into turn number 3? Chris Hopkins throws out the late yellow, and we go back to caution.
On board, we're ready to go once again.
Even the Manson rose at 2. Caruso on the bottom. He's been there before. As they come off the turn and work their way back to the line, it is Caruso.
Third on the high side is Jim Adams. Here comes Zantarsky. Chuck Zantarsky, who has been sitting back in about 9 or 10 spots most of the afternoon. Now begins to apply the pressure that he is known for. Off the turn, back down to the stripe. Caruso takes the turn way up high.
Trouble now. Down the front straightaway, it is Rich Vassar who gets up on his roof and slams the wall at a ton in turn 1. He was literally bumper locked and locked together with the 64, the Bennett machine. But it is Rich Vassar, the Vassar landscaping car, Vassar moving inside of the automobile. He's about to get out of the race car, but what a wild ride into turn number 1. Vassar, in the Vassar landscaping machine, got literally up on 2 wheels, did a pirouette spin, hit the wall at a ton in turn 1. And that's at the same location that we had another car yesterday afternoon get upside down. That was the Clark Modified.
Process certainly raised a lot of concern for a lot of folks who respond to the situation and make sure that everything that was necessary was done. And it looks like an awful lot of liquid was dumped out onto the racetrack.
Well, the Vassar's machine being picked up hammock style by the Tux Auto record, the Story Brothers record. Severely damaged car. Out of his vehicle while the field was red flagged, removed a piece of debris from one of the other cars, and now the official call from one of the officials states that he would have to go to the rear of the field. That's the official call from out of the infield area. Dan Hardy, the gentleman in that red truck there, is the NASCAR chief steward, the gentleman that makes those calls, usually from the center of the infield. And they're discussing that situation right now on George Bissett and what occurred on the racetrack. As we mentioned, from what we've been told through NASCAR communication, is that George Bissett got out of his vehicle and removed a piece of debris from another race car, and therefore a penalty was called by the NASCAR official. George Bissett now has gone back and has discussed the situation. They've kind of had a powwow on the front straightaway area. Dan Party, the NASCAR chief steward, came out and discussed it with Bill Long and Chris Hopkins, and apparently they are still discussing the situation. George Bissett can't quite understand. He thought he was doing something good, and therefore now they have informed him that possibly he will go to the rear of the field. Now this could be changing. As we said, this is all unofficial, and the only information that we have was what was relayed to us. Once we get the official call, we'll gladly pass it along.
Meantime, let's go down trackside with Mike Keller. Mike?
So then, I'll tell you, all the quick guys started up front. We're having a problem with the cars, pushing and not running too good. We changed it around last night, tried to get better. We didn't have a practice today, and it got, it's not that good. The car's not handling that good. But I'm going to try to make the best of it and come up as quick, to the front as I could, try to win this race.
John, tell us a little bit about your 1991 season, how it's been going, and really what has brought you to the forefront of the point lead.
I'll tell you, we had a lot of bad luck at the beginning of the year, and the dedication of the crew put this car back together, and every week That's the whole key to this thing, is the crew and how we click together to get the car going, you know?
Had a great run at the Pocono International Raceway for the National Parts Peddler Street Stock event. After that, you ventured off to the Lancaster Speedway last weekend where you competed there. Is this in the making for Chuck Zdarsky as far as doing a little traveling for the 1992 season?
Yeah, we wanted to expand our goal to go to different tracks and see how we could do at other tracks. First time we ever went to Lancaster last week. It was a different track. We had to go in the Consi because we messed up the heat. I moved it, and we started 23rd in the Consi, finished 4th, put us 29th into the feature, and we finished 10th. We did real good, I'd say. We were running real good now.
Chuck, a lot of drivers in your position, especially now being a champion again here at Stafford, might have aspirations of moving up to a different class, maybe possibly the pro stocks, the modifieds, maybe even the Busch Grand National. Are you interested in that at all?
I'll tell you, I talked to a lot of the guys that switched over the late model to the other divisions, and our pocketbook is for this division. Unless we get a real big sponsor to go in the other divisions, we're going to stay right where we are.
That's Chuck Zdarsky. He's sitting in the number 4 spot here when we go back to green flag action, and of course he is going to be the 1991 champion. Let's talk to Jim Moblet-Johnson also. He's had a great season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, trying to adjust to talk to the full-face helmet. We'll get a few words with him and how things are going. Jim, a great season for you. You're sitting on the outside point right now as far as this event is concerned. What do you look forward to when the green flag comes out again?
Everybody's going to be tough. We've had a real good season. The next to my car's running real well. Artie Caruso's running well. He's turning on the inside here. We're just going to go all out and try to beat Artie.
You land yourself a good sponsor with Extramart for this 1991 season. What kind of advice can you give maybe aspiring drivers or drivers that are currently running in this division or other divisions as far as securing a sponsor? What is the sponsor looking for?
Well, it's a lot of hard work, Mike. You got to go out and put a package together. I have to give my credit to my wife. My wife and my brother pretty much did all of that. And put a package together and go out and present it to businesses. It's a lot of hard work, and my wife will testify for that. But, eventually it pays off. Every once in a while you get a yes, and that's what you're looking for.
As far as this event is concerned, we're just a bit past the halfway point. What's it going to take to put the Extramart machine up front?
Well, we got to try to beat Artie here. He's going real well. I got Chuck behind me, and George Mad Dog said everybody's fast here, and we just got to go fast and try not to make any mistakes.
Well, that's Jim Moblet-Johnson. He's got a lot of tough company, and we're going to talk to one of those competitors right now. Art Caruso is a man who's got some fans in the stands also, and he sits on the point right now. You're looking pretty good right now.
The car's going real well. We're hoping to keep the football. These guys got a bunch of good cars behind you right now.
What kind of strategy are we going to use as far as when the green flag comes out again? You've got some tough competition to the right, tough competition behind. We're just going to put the hammer down and go to try to maintain the front spot.
That's all we can do.
All righty, Art Caruso having a good run so far. Well, George Bissett, back in the car, you seem to have, I guess I would say, relaxed a little bit. What do you look forward to now? We're going to have to move you to the back?
No, they're going to let me start outside pole. Artie's real fast. I don't think I'll take him on the restart, but, we got Chucky and Jim, and Wood's been pretty strong. It's going to be a good race. I just, hope it's a good, clean race, and I'll settle for anything.
What has been the key to your success for 1991 here at Stafford? It's probably one of your best seasons ever here.
Well, it's not much of a key. We had some good runs there. We won one race, and we got about 8 heat race wins, but we just can't seem to be fast enough to beat these guys. These guys are real fast. They're hooked up real well, and, you got to give them a lot of credit.
That's the Mad Dog, George Bissett. He'll be starting once again on the
Off from the safety vehicle. The Pontiac Grand Prix is about to pull away from the field. Caruso and Bissett making up the front row. Moblet-Johnson and Zdarsky, 1991 champion, with 17 laps up on the board.
Green flag back out. Here comes Caruso. He jumps from the throttle, leads them off the turn, back down the line. Up the high side with car number 8. Then Zdarsky and Wood just rub fenders briefly. Down on the inside they go. Single file down the backstretch. The top 5 cars running pretty much nose to tail. Behind the blue number 12 of driver Art Caruso.
Off the turn, Caruso looks as hot as he did before the car cooled down under that long period of a red flag situation. He's starting to get geared up once again. He makes a bid for it on the bottom. Can't do it. There's Zantarski to contend, and now Wood and the number 7 of Tommy Byrne are contending. It is Tommy Byrne who now moves into the 5th spot with car number 711. Back to the line they come. Caruso still leads them. We're riding a bit. Brings it a little bit sideways. Because Medevere is focused heavily off the right front tire. Pulls to the back of the field. It appears that Medevere has a problem. He is out of the event as we're still up to green.
Just a case of some sheet metal rubbing against that right front tire, but it's doing it very quickly. McLean has a front tire that is gone down. So both of these cars will be sidelined from the event. Meanwhile, 21. But look at that battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Apparently, John Wood has developed a problem. He's dropped off the page. Here comes Tommy Burns at the inside of Zantarski. He's given him a real run for the money. Remember, Burns brought out a caution early in the event. Went from the back of the pack to the finish. There's a major factor in this one. He moved to the back of Zantarski as they head into turn number 2.
On the second turn down the long back straightaway, Burns down to the low side. Cannot make a move under Zantarski. He thinks better of it across the back. Running nose to tail as Caruso is making the shambles out of the rest of his field. And blue number 12 is running on rails.
Speaking of running on rails, there's our different story being told from many of the passengers trying to get back to the front of the field. He's having a tough go of it. Prince moves underneath the other Alex car, front of the 55. But when they come back to the line, there's 2 sticks in the air. They stand for the popsicle sticks. That means 2 circuits to go. Caruso is looking good for the final victory of 1991.
2 circuits remain. That's it for car number 12. On turn number 2 down the back straightaway. It is still going for set, holding on for second. Jim Malvagana looking for running anywhere as he is in Narski. The lumberjack being played as Malvagana looks way down low. Can't make the move. Bassett is able to hang on.
The white flag is out. It is surrender to the checker, but there is no surrender in the final position number 2. George matched on Bassett and tries to hold them off. Mavrogiannis backs up a bit. Zantarski is right there, and so is it Tommy Byrne. But the color true blue is out in front. The fans love it. At the start-finish line area, it is Caruso who takes down the impressive victory. Here's the battle for second. It is Bassett for second. Mavrogiannis for third. Zantarski for fourth. Byrne's got 5. Next, set to the 6th spot. Well, the 6th is unofficially in 7th. So down to the winner's circle, he'll take down the victory. It is car number 12 for the Art Caruso team. They have secured the impressive win here for the fall final event at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Finish in our late model feature event. Car number 12 for Art Caruso takes down the win. Second is George Bassett. Third, the 01 of Mavrogiannis. Fourth is Zantarski, number 8. 5th spot, the 711 of Tommy Byrne. 6th spot, Kevin Zarnecki, unofficially in 7th. The 17 of Vincent. 8th is the 55 of Adams, and that is unofficial for the top 8 position. When he is down in the winner's circle, the Blue Jackets are joining him down there to congratulate our winner. It is car number 12, as Mike Cavaloff will be down there to greet our winner in the late model main event, the final point event of the 1991 season. Late models here this afternoon, it is Artie Caruso.
Well, here's the winner of the 25-lap late model feature event, Art Caruso here in Victory Lane. Well, if you're going to win the fall final, I guess that's the style you want to do it in, huh?
Yeah, we've never had really much luck here. Last year we almost did. We lost the radiator, but this year, the way I wanted to end it.
Got a lot of happy people here as your crew. What kind of a part do they play in getting you to the racetrack each and every week?
A big part. Yesterday it wasn't that great. Yesterday handling, so we went last night. My brother fixed it right up. I went out the last night to do some stuff with, but all the equipment was gone, so we couldn't lay it. But my friends, my relatives, they're all great. They all help out every week.
Art, after that last restart, you started to get yourself a real good lead. You looked in your mirror. Did you let up at all, or just hammer down right to the checker?
No, I never let up. I wanted it to go before anybody else came out.
Mark Russo here at Victory Lane, a very happy winner, and congratulations to him and his crew. We'll let the photographers take some pictures. We're also going to try to get a few words with our 1991 point champion, Chuck Zentarski. The official word from the scores is car number 711 for Tommy Fern was 3 laps down. Therefore, he was not the unofficial 5th place finisher. So the Fern machine, the 711, was 3 laps down in the competition here. Winston Racing Series Modifieds coming up next, but right now we're down trackside with Mike Kalanoff and the 1991 late model champion, Chuck Zentarski. Well, he didn't finish up front in the feature event here, Chuck, but you got to be very happy with winning the 1991 point title.
We're very happy. It's our first championship, and we worked hard to get it.
Just tell us about some of the people, some of the sponsors that really help you out week in and week out.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Grand Trucking, Captain's Galley, Veteran Sheet Metal, Elm City Auto Body, and TA Engines for putting us up in the front, and the whole crew.
And for 1992, be back here at the Stafford Speedway to defend that title?
Oh yeah, we'll be here with bells on.
He's the 1991 point champion here at Stafford, Chuck Zentarski. Winston Racing Series of Modifieds coming up next. Let's go back upstairs. Thank you very much, Mike. Congratulations goes out to Chuck Zentarski for securing the 1991 title. Winston Racing Series Modifieds are staged and lined up in the back straightaway area. Here's in Waterbury, Connecticut, the Kentucky Racing Enterprises machine for Rob Jones. Second row on the inside, the Johnson Fabrication machine, car number 53. That, of course, the 53 machine for Kenny Johnson out of Munson, Mass. Outside of that row, driving car number 81X. It is the yellow number 81X for Earl Lateral out of Brooklyn, Connecticut, the yellow machine. Outside of that row, driving car number 98, it is Wacky D'Amato out of Brookfield, Connecticut, up a brand new sponsor. It is Mike Paquette out of Naugatuck, Connecticut, the Diamond Snowplows Screen Technology sponsored race car. Car number 179 is John Jensen. Well, thank you once again, Ben. We have a very special presentation from Trackside Magazine, and here is the editor, Dean Nardi, for the presentation.
We present an award sponsored by Big Trader Trucking out of Putnam, Connecticut, to a driver that's experienced some hard times and come back and do well. And Chuck certainly qualifies for that award. At one point in the year, he almost quit. And I understand his crew got the car together and convinced him to come back. So we're presenting this award with a $100 check to Chuck Zentarski.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Trackside Magazine for putting this, and Big Trader Trucking. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck. Congratulations on your championship.
Thank you very much, Dean. Hitting the wall at a ton, it is lateral and involved in the mix-up. It's a chain reaction type of a thing. Here are several competitors involved. Many of them did not make contact, but stopped just in the middle of the situation. Bob Cody has made contact with the shoulder machine, but it is lateral star that he had a ton. Yellow number 81 has several of the cars.
So some of the cars that are involved appear to be the 31 of Kohler, the 81 of Lateral. Those two were definitely involved, as well as the 22 of Speedway to have a great time on a Sunday afternoon. Left and right racing here this afternoon is the way to go. Contact the Speedway office, make up a set of rules, and you've got time between now and the 3rd of November to put the car
picks up the lateral car in a sling and brings it back to the center of the infield. That car was the car that definitely suffered the severest of the damage on the back straightaway. Kenny Johnson, John Sneed.
Johnson, who has worked so well, and as you mentioned a little bit earlier, has come up short so many times. Scores, but Sneed has had a very good. Now, off the turn they come. Green flag is out. Johnson grabs the advantage. Sneed comes to the
Running strong to the inside in turn number 2. It sets the pace. Sneed tried a bold move. It didn't work. That shot anyway. Here comes Rocky to the bottom. Puts the pedal to the metal. Off the third. Phil Dallas down to the 3rd spot. Eddie Christopher, Chilwansky, and their guidance. They are the stars. There's no question about it. It's still Johnson Sneed with some help. Goes around in turn 2.
And doesn't take us to the cars, but the 5 of Severance has a tremendous getting into the wall, rides the wall for about 150 feet, and then gently lands on top. There is a fire in the Severance car. The 57 of Chilwansky, Steve, is out of his race car and now goes over to...
Literally extinguish the fire.
In fact, that's exactly what he does. Steve Chilwansky grabbing his own fire extinguisher and putting the fire out himself. Severance is out of the race car.
Sure is.
He's walking down through the infield. He is the one in the line.
Trouble now. Another fire develops. It looks like the Mike Christopher car, we believe. To the inside of the racetrack, there is some gasoline that has been strewed on the racetrack as the flames now follow it right up in a circle at this point.
And it appears to be headed up towards the Bob Georgitis car, but fortunately it is now out.
We also want to mention that at this particular point that all of the drivers were out of the vehicles at this time. They are out of the way in this situation, which could have occurred as a serious situation. There's no question about it. The markings on the wall, the tires, the red paint, and much, much more show how severe the situation was.
Steve Chilwansky was second in points going into this event, and this will certainly prove to be a toughie for him. Bob Georgitis also involved, and Bobby was in the 3rd spot in points, and Mike Christopher, who was 4th in points, was also involved. So this is certainly going to shake up that situation before the day is over.
Well, taking that long walk back to the pit area is Wayne Severance, the gentleman that was the driver of car number 5 that just went for an unbelievable ride down the back straightaway. Thank goodness he is okay. The word from the scene of the skirmish that all the drivers are A-okay, and that's worthy of a big round of applause for the competitors that were involved in the credit to the safety of the vehicles themselves.
An awful lot of credit has to go to Steve Chilwansky, too, who saw the fire develop right directly in front of him. He had presence of mind to grab his own fire extinguisher, jumped out of the race car, and put it to good use. So, not...
He is a second-generation driver. His dad competed at this facility and many others and is actively involved in the New England Antique Racers program. But for Bobby Georgitis, this was the year that he showed his talents and showed it very, very well. Young driver with a very bright future. He's one of the many drivers that possibly could be making their marks. Ironically, that was a race car that was for sale. It appears to be severely damaged, but the frame itself appears to be pretty much straight. A lot of the components were designed to shear off the automobile, and if you're in the market for a race car, even though it might look a little tattered now, there's no question about it that this was a first-class front-running car and among the winningest cars here at the Stafford Motor Speedway this season.
See, this is what sport with a capital S is all about. Apart from the fire, which fortunately was extinguished so quickly, the only other damage to the car is the right front wheel and suspension. Apart from that, it is not too bad. Those of you who can see the engine, the sound of the glass taken back there.
Matthew Forrest, report to your mother immediately, please. Matthew Forrest, report to your mother immediately. Well, it looks like we're going to go back to the look out, here comes Jensen down. Second turn on the bottom. Here comes Jensen. He manages to take over the runner-up spot. Not far behind him. Galloping on the road. Very strong to get set to the straightaway, just as things looked so normal, suddenly everything became unglued. The yellow flag was being displayed by Chris Hopkins. The front pack of cars slowed down. Chris was actually signaling the front pack of cars to speed it up just a bit, and all of a sudden, it was a pig pile in turn number 1.
Two cars, the Steve Lombardo car number 78X and 13. Ron Rocco, both of those machines involved, and see the left front wheels sheared right off the Rocco car are located behind the main grandstand. Courtesy of the folks at good old Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Union Spec Motors, and Package Motors here in Stafford Springs.
Representative back out the pit area. So does the Mike Christopher. And the field goes to lead. Into the turn of 1.
Holding on for that second spot. Kennedy Jensen in the 179 tag, and Mike Christopher making back out of the pickup.
This will work to his advantage. He'll head back to the pit area, perhaps fix the leak that was setting up all the smoke. George Kent still in the center of the infield, the hurt car, and now Brad Paul.
Thing is secure as a result of the Tom Tag and Mike Christopher incident down in turn number 1. 23 of 35 up on the Winston Racing Series scoreboard.
And the field is stopped once again on the front straightaway.
Huh? All right, let's go back to the infield. Harry.
Yes, Ross. Frank Hurst, realizing it's a red flag situation, he's got the record behind him, waiting for a push, but of course he can't return to the pits during red flag.
Tom Tag car being brought back in, and Tom's dad, John, getting a good look at it from his vantage point.
Check.
Mike Kalanoff is out and about.
Whatever, but hopefully I can get by it before the end of the race. What a great season you've had, 1991 here at Stafford in the Winston Racing Series Modified. Any possible chance or thoughts you might have to move up?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I am. I got a good bunch of guys. We don't have any money, but we have a lot of fun. And I tell you, I've been real happy over the whole season.
Bob Potter, he's driving turn number 51, and he's on the outside pole. See if we have just enough cord to talk to Ted Christopher. And you have about 7 laps to go. What do you think?
It's more than 7. It's a 35-lap race.
Well, thank you for correcting me there, Ted. I certainly appreciate that.
If I stop at 30, you know who's going to win.
Yeah, that's for sure. Teddy, tell us a little bit about your season and really how things have looked for you. They're really looking up, and maybe some of your plans for the future.
Everything's pretty much up in the air. A lot of it has to do with sponsorships as far as what I'm going to do as far as if I'm going to drive a tour car, if I'm going to drive my police car, or stay in Winston Racing Series. We're definitely going to be racing instead of Saturday nights at Waterford. We're going to race at Riverside Park.
All right, Ted Christopher, he's sitting in the number 1 spot, and we certainly know how good at math he is. Let's go back upstairs.
Down the back straightaway, we're ready to go racing once again. The Pontiac Grand Prix pulls to the center of the infield. Christopher and Potter making up the front row. Chris Hopkins on the starter stand. He looks him over. We're back to green. Off the turn. Teddy Christopher brings him back down to the line. Potter sets him second. Gallup is on a roll. He has come back as a contender right up front of the competition. Don't count him out as he heads down the back straightaway. Christopher leads him. Potter is second. Gallup is third. Jensen is fourth. And Johnson sets in position number 5.
Off the turn they come. Christopher continues to set the pace. 4. Bob Potter right ahead. He's losing his rear bumper, waiting for his opportunity. And the 31 of Richie Gallup. Keep a close eye on that car, and Gallup has been on the road. Working his way back to the front. Gallup takes a look at the high side of the racetrack. Thinks better of it. Now looks to the low side of turn number 4.
Without about a minute, turn number 1. Here comes Gallup. He saw the door open on the inside of Potter. They come off the turn. Gallup tries to keep it nice and low. Potter's got enough speed on the outside to take back the spot. Christopher still leading them as they come back to the line. Christopher still in command. Pressure is still being applied by Potter and Gallup as they hit the turn 1.
It is Mike Christopher, Bob Potter, Richie Gallup, John Jensen, Kenny Johnson, and Eddie Spires in that order. Like having Kenny time also running up to the front. And the 13
Christopher Houston lets go. Gallup becomes a victim of circumstances. Back to the line comes Bob Potter as they come off the turn. We go to yellow.
It certainly appeared as though something let go underneath the hood of the Christopher car, taking Ricky Gallup along with it.
Well, Teddy Christopher was given it a real run for the money, and Richie Gallup's bad luck continues. A victim of circumstances there. Bob Potter's good luck shows that he is the man that takes over the number 1 spot.
And Bob Potter will be declared the winner as the Victory Lane Mobile pulls to the start-finish line. The race has been declared official, and the points leader for 1991 is the winner of the fall final for the Winter Racing Series Modified. It is Bob Potter, and what a great day and a great way to end the season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway with this Norwich, Connecticut driver. That's exactly how it occurred, and Bob Potter now makes his way to the podium in Victory Lane. Let's go trackside with Mike Kalanoff.
Okay, thank you very much, Russell. I guess sometimes it just doesn't matter how you win them as long as you get here to Victory Lane. Bob, you had sort of the best seat in the house for that turn 3. What happened?
I guess Teddy blew, and I got in the order. Luckily, I got through it. I don't know how to recommend it through, but I think Teddy would have won the race because, I was riding him hard, but he just had enough to stay ahead of me.
Bob, you've been doing this for quite some time. You're now the 1991 champion at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and that's going to make you and your crew feel excellent.
They just capped the whole season off by winning today, and, winning the championship, and I would have been pretty happy with a second, but I tell you, it's nothing like being here in Victory Lane.
How about some of the people that help you out, some of your sponsors that get you here week in and week out?
Well, we got Jet Speed, and mostly the guy that owns the car, Jigs, and Freddie helps us out a little bit. Actually, hopefully next year we can get some money to go a little better.
Bob Potter here in Victory Lane. He's also the 1991 champion of the Winston Racing Series Modifieds.
Well, while the Victory Lane ceremony continues down the trackside, Bob Potter and a very happy crew being congratulated once again.
Things beginning to break up a little bit down here in Victory Lane, and a very happy Bob Potter and the entire car number 51 crew as they enjoy another victory here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Hello, Don. The Pro Stock feature event is up next, and a 30-lap drive ahead for the Pro Stocks. Here is how they're slated to come around. Starting on the pole is going to be car number 5. The driver hails from Southbridge, Massachusetts.
Flanagan, out of Ledger, Connecticut.
From Longmeadow, Massachusetts, comes the driver of the Mayberry System. Sponsored car number 7, Wade Gagner.
Sponsor 1 at number 38 will start in the 28th starting position for Brad Bennett.
And rounding up the field will be car number 32 for Morrisville, Reddy Ricciero.
And the number 50. But already it is Chris Kopek who looks on to the outside of Eric Kern. Even at turn number 3, Kopek takes it in deep, turns, battles back, that's the battle for third. As they work their way off the fourth turn, Norton brings them back to the line.
Dave Norton leads the charge. Around in turn 1, he is able to hang on. He maintains his position, but we're on the racetrack right now. Fire up on the high side of Eric Kern.
With the number 41, it looks like the Mayberry car for Wade Gagner is also in there. The 3 cars are locked together just off of turn number 4. That brings out the first caution of the event.
Frank Torino was able to pull away from the 41. Tim Lediga also drives away. As Unfortunately, it appears to be nothing more than fiberglass damage. Maybe wait to be able to get in the pit area and then very quickly and get back out on the racetrack. Mark here, NASCAR inspector. Look at that. Modified and pro stock driver Chris Kopech on the outside. Nordman jumps on the throttle, runs it up through the gearbox. Green flag comes out.
Kopech on the high side as they come off the turn. Nordman's got his hands full.
Down low on the racetrack. Kopech puts the throttle down and he now picks up the lead. But here comes Lou Pryor up on the high side. Challenge the 76 of Manafort.
No question about it. Lou Pryor is looking strong. He's looking to get to the front of the field. And look at the rookie, Richie G, coming to the top.
It is Manafort down low with the 76. Eric Burns runs the high with the 32. Pryor now up on the outside of Nordman as they work their way to 3 and 4. Nordman keeps the car down low. Pryor tries to maintain the momentum with the high gear.
Best shot. Manafort is now back in the 4th spot. Further back, we've got car number 07 for Tom Rosani, Jerry Martin, and Jim McCallum all threading the needle and heading back to the front of the field. But back to the line, it's Kopech who leads them. Pryor still running. Come together on the front straightaway. She makes it by, but Sablik is a car that suffers the worst of the damage. Doyle goes spinning with car number 31. So that's going to bring out a caution as we are on lap number.
I think that we can quite safely attribute this caution to Bob Trotter. He was waiting in the way. Do you find yourself at this stage of your career, would that be the advice you give to youngsters getting started? Stay out of trouble. The 74, Louis Pryor runs next as they head down the back straightaway. Then it is Manafort over 76. Nordman back to line number 5 into position 4. And Eric Turner rounds out the top 5. Here comes Tom Rosani in the 07 as they exit turn number 4. Rosani climbs up to the
off the second turn, it is Rosani who sneaks down beneath the Burns car. Jerry Martin is now following him to the front of the field. As car number 74, it is Pryor who's still putting the pressure on Kopech as they come back to the front. Jerry Martin. Rosati and Jerry Marquis. Marquis is now moved into third. Kopech tries to hold on. Pryor is forced to run through it on the outside. Down the back straightaway, it is Sonny Gregg who has the problem with car number 9. But off the turn, back to the line. Car number 41, a truck had spun with a tire that went flat. You can almost see some liquid coming out from beneath the automobile. What happened? That's what we're going to caution 10 laps up to the board. Tony Membrino stops down at the start-finish line area. Apparently he has a question on where he's going to be resuming. He was one of the cars that we believe that went to the pit area. Hopkins down from the starter stand. Apparently he's making some readjustments here. Off the turn, they go back to green. It is Kopech, but it is a lazy green. Change the front row. It puts Lou Pryor in the number 1 spot. Tom Rosati to the outside of him immediately, please.
Pace car is inbound. Let's see if it's Lou Pryor or Tom Rosati.
Well, they're evenly matched. Pryor isn't going to take any chances. He saw what happened to Kopech. Now the green flag comes back out. They look good this time as they come off the turn. Marquis, who's up to second. He's showing the steam of the Northeast champion. He now moves to the inside of Pryor. Jerry Marquis saw the door open, and he moved right in to set the pace up front. Off the turn, back down to the line they come. In his car, number 73 for Jerry Marquis.
game, and up on the low side of the racetrack.
No question about it. As they head into turn number 3, it is Rosati and Zydeman that are keeping it out for the third spot. Rosati keeps it nice and low. Zydeman tries to pin him down to the bottom. They come back to the line. To go. They head off the second turn and down the back straightaway. Battle is still on for third. Blue flag, red for zero. Watching all of this, but it is Rosati and Zydeman that are contending for the third spot.
As they battle it out for position 3 for the line. Stafford Motor Speedway looking right down the header pipe. 73 of line. Probably one of the biggest drivers in the nation.
So now we've got Manifold around in turn number 2. It appears he's going to get his fire back up. Okay. The battle between Reggie Ruggiero and number 74 of Blue Fire. On the third, it's still marching back to the line. But look at the battle between Ruggiero and Fire. Now running front.
Battle card. Right alongside of the Fire. Fire got to started out the early part of the
Not a good sign, but he's still trying to hold on to maintain the position again without giving any of them away. Jerry Martinez no room. Jim McCallum is trying to get close. Time is going to tick away. There's less than 10 seconds. Still trying to have some back on time. He's on lap number 20. Now the second spot is third. Fourth spot is Tom Rosati. Fifth spot is Ruggiero. Sixth spot on the field. Then Marino. 5 is one of Ruggiero. He's got to get back going. Front of that was the fire.
Meanwhile, the lap continues to take away this time. 1.5 miles, 4 miles left to run for Jerry Markey.
Tommy Bird appears to be the car that Bird will be sent to the center of the infield. Figures going up to the white line.
One of Hamlin's laps in the race was the last trial, but he'll just perform well. No serious concern. Trouble down in turn number 1 is the double zero of Cunningham. Goes around and head-on contact with Tom Briggs. First turn against Paul.
He gets that ton at the front end of his machine, and that's going to bring out another caution. 23 laps in on the scoreboard. Marino just started back into the top 15. Seeger goes to the pits. Tommy Bird was black flag and brought to the infield area for smoke or something coming from beneath the car. Marino back to the pit area. Nordman off the turn. Jerry Marquis brings them back to the line. Richie T slides down through the center of the infield. He gets it sideways, gathers it back. Will there be a caution or not? If he can get it fired back up, things will be okay. Richie T cannot get it fired back up. Off the turn, back down to the line. Here comes Marquis, guarding his spot. Zydeman is right there on the bottom side. They've worked their way off the second turn. It is Zydeman into second. Turn number 3.
Jim McCallum took a heck of a chance as he drove the outside groove with Jerry Martin.
congratulated after securing the impressive victory as Mike Kalanoff will meet our winner in the Pro Stock division.
The PT-73, the Turbo Blue Machine, into victory lane. MRS Mechanical also listed among the many sponsors of this extremely talented race driver, Jerry Markey. Markey, let's go trackside with Mike Kalanoff.
You certainly made restarts count, and after pulling out in front, you almost ran away and headed.
Yeah, the car was hooked up real good coming off the turn. I had to slow it down a little bit because it was a little loose going in. But the guy did a super job preparing the car this week. It's been actually sitting in mothballs for the past 3 weeks, I think it is. We pulled it out this week to run here, and it really paid off.
Jerry, what was going through your head? First you had the company Jim McCallum, and then you looked in your mirror, and there was Jeff Zeideman.
I tell you, those guys are real gentlemen, and they're a real couple tough drivers to get around and race with, but they give you enough racing room, and I think that's what shows out there, that everybody could run fast and run clean.
You've had some terrific distinctions this year, 1991. Besides some track championships, you've also secured something else. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, we grabbed the Northeast region here the first time in a long time for New England, and I'm real proud to go down to National and represent everybody from here in the Northeast.
What is 1992 going to bring? What's 1992 going to bring for Jerry Markey?
Well, hopefully a repeat season. That wouldn't be too bad. I know it's going to be a tough feat to follow, but we're looking at a Busch Grand National a little bit. Maybe dip our fingers in that a little bit, see what's going to happen there, and then we're going to run our Modified Winston Racing Series like we always been in the Pro Stock, like we always do.
No better way to win and cap off a great season. Here's the Stafford Motor Speedway for Jerry Markey.
All right, Mike, very, very good. We hope to be able to get a word with Jim McCallum as well, but as you can see, Jim, his car is being checked in the infield, so he'll be tied up in that for some time. But track champion in the division is Jim McCallum out of North Oxford, Massachusetts. Next item up on the agenda is the 150-lap Modified Tour event for the fall final weekend. We are going to take a little break here as we set up the infield pit area for this Modified Tour race. And at this stage of the game, we extend an invitation to you to visit the food concessions, to stop by Big D's Novelty Booth and to take a look at some of the great displays that we have for you on the midway here at the Stafford Motor Speedway on fall final weekend. Folks from Scranton Motors are here with automobiles, representatives from not only, well, where do we start? A man who is not only the winningest driver here at this racetrack, a total of 76 features, a man who has won 3 national championships, the only man to have won track championships numbering 4 in all, 1 being on the dirt, the other 3 on the asphalt, and being probably the living legend of modified racing in the world, ladies and gentlemen, Carl Bug Stevens.
I'd like to say that I'm real proud of owning Stafford, being part of this racing. But one of the things I'm really proud of being able to say Bug Stevens is a good friend, and I hope that's helpful. Also, you know that 15 coupe out there? Dave was telling me that the fastest that thing ever went was the night I drove it. Remember with Frank Herrera? Just like it.
Bug, this is indeed an honor for you. You look right up here, ladies and gentlemen, right at the start-finish line. In fact, very appropriate. Carl Bug Stevens, Section G. Bug, congratulations.
It's a great pleasure. This racetrack really put modified racing on the map.
Everybody was looking.
Probably took it away from it too, as Jack was saying. We started this place way back in, Jack got it in 1967, I believe, or 66. And he brought this place to Major League things. And modified racing got so big that everybody else wanted them, and we left that. And here we are.
And you're back again. And Buzz, I think one of the things that made it so special was your dedication to to not only modified racing, but your dedication to this speedway, and that is something that will always be remembered and will always be appreciated, not only by Jack and his family, but by the thousands and thousands of modified fans who followed you and all your cronies over the years around this racetrack.
Tell you what, the guys I race with, I don't have many enemies. We all raced hard. We had a lot of fun. We meant what we were doing, and afterwards we partied. That was part of the game. We were a family. We were a family bunch, and that just made modified racing. I wish it was back where it was then. I'll tell you.
Well, Bugs, memories, as Jack said, that's really what it's all about. And when anyone talks modified racing in the Stafford Motor Speedway, this is the man that comes to mind immediately. Carl Bugs Stevens. Let's hear it for him one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Bugs, I don't know whether you know this or not, but you, sir, are the Grand Marshal for this year's running in the fall final, and congratulations on that, too.
We'll just cut that off right there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to commence with the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour portion of today's program. And what we're going to do first is introduce you the winner of the Bush Pole. Ladies and gentlemen, from West Greenwich, Rhode Island, the Auto Palace Pontiac, Mike Stefanik. And Mike will draw 10. 10 cars will redraw for the top 10 position. Well, it is my pleasure to reintroduce the Grand Marshal here at Stafford for the fall final 150 laps, Bugsy Stevens, for the most famous word in professional sports. Bugsy, gentlemen, let's go racing. There it is.
Good job, Bug. The field comes to life on the front stretch here of the half mile of Stafford Motor Speedway, and we are about to get underway with 150 laps of NASCAR modified open wheel competition in this, the fall final 1991.
Well, it's been a long and interesting afternoon here at the half-mile facility, but the men of the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour are ready, and so are the teams. To the center of the infield area, they are set. They've been waiting all afternoon. The final preparation of the cars have been done. The cars were ready to go hours ago, and now they're going to be put to the test here at the half-mile. One of the most demanding racetracks that they visit. Most don't find the magic with ease. For some, it is the toughest of the tour stops to contend with.
It had been thought for years, Ben, that if you could win a Stafford, you could win anywhere, and that still holds true even today. Let's give them a great send-off. Stand up. Wave to the drivers of the Modified Tour. About to unfold here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Satch Worley in car number 4 and Tom Baldwin to bring the field around behind the Pontiac pace car. This time into turn 3, the pace car will dive down and we'll look for a start.
No question about it. They're evenly matched and ready to go racing. This is the final start of the 1991 season to begin a race program. The NASCAR Winston Modified Tour is set to go racing. Chris Hopkins addresses the field as they head off turn number 4. Evenly matched, Satch Worley, Tom Baldwin in row number 1. Green flag.
Grabbed a slight advantage as they head for 2 down the back stretch. They go. Baldwin. 44. Satch Worley continues to hold on to a slight advantage. And
Look out, the challenge is on for second. Here comes Ricky Fuller. He puts the Fiore race car to the bottom. The second car is up to second. It is Charlie Rudolph to the inside. Here comes the number 77.
Modified shows here this year. Now look to the outside of Rudolph in the heat car. in the infield, and let's see if we can get some information from Barry concerning some of these teams.
Right, Russ. What we have so far in the pits, number 44, Rick Fuller, he came and retired. He said his engine is virtually blown, so he's retired. If in fact that was so, that the engine was blown, well, it was very fortunate, because normally when an engine blows, you get a mass of oil dropped on the circuit, but this was not the case here. He was able to get clear of the circuit into the pits, but his race is run. Chris Kopak, number 6, he came into the pits with a problem of misfiring. But as he came into the pits, it all fired up again very nicely indeed, and out he went. But now he's come in yet again. That was on lap 58 with some rear axle problem. Now his crew is working on it away from the pits. Whether they can sort it out, I don't know. But when you have a back axle problem, Tom Wallace, his steering power went and he's retired. He retired on lap 73. Johnny Bush, number 68, the mechanics are still working on the struts. The suspension is a serious problem. Bruce Alessandro had a minor mechanical adjustment made on lap 101 at number 9. And Charlie Rudolph, number 72, a very brief stop on lap 122 for fuel and tires. And obviously we have quite a few cars in the pit for fuel and what?
9 of Rogerio, the 3 of Everon, the 5.
Green flag is out, and everybody's sound asleep, but here comes Reggie.
Rogerio makes an unbelievable move and shocks the rest of the ball when he's so surprised. He shocks, he goes around, and the field is on the
back to caution. Let's see what's going to happen here. Here it almost like somebody zapped him once again.
I mean, Reggie was halfway back to infield when the green flag came.
We'll have to wait and see what the NASCAR officials say in this one.
Listening to the game. I'd say that's pretty good, and I think Chris is comfortable with that explanation as well. Bottom line being that it is up to, according to NASCAR,
must fire first, and it must go first, and then the cars will follow.
Word is that was not the case with Rick. He fired first, but was not the leader. So we go back to where we were. Baldwin now suddenly feels about 500 pounds taken right off the shoulder.
Saying just a few seconds ago that Tom Baldwin's luck had changed for the worse. Well, maybe it's come back to life a little bit here. Baldwin is now back in the number 1 spot, and he is up on the board as car number 7 is still the leader.
Down in victory lane as the pictures are being taken, and Mike Kalanoff is about to introduce longtime competitor and, in fact, a longtime friend, Tom Baldwin, as Tom is savoring each moment to sit in the race car and enjoy this victory. The victory that he felt was pretty much taken from him only a couple of weeks ago at the Pocono International Raceway.
Here, it is Tom Baldwin into the winner's circle here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Mike Kalanoff there to meet and greet our winner.
Well, thank you very much, Ben Dodge. Tom Baldwin out of the car, being congratulated by his son and crew chief, Tom Baldwin Jr. Very interesting finish to this 150-lap affair. Good for you.
Well, we got short-sheeted last couple of weeks ago by 2 laps. I guess we got our 2 laps back.
You certainly did. What happened there in that restart when they threw the green?
I think Reggie hit Jamie so hard he spun me out. You know,
but I didn't start the race. They started the race. The rule book says I got to start the race.
So the leader starts the race in this case. Tommy, tell us a little bit about what has been transpiring over the 1991 season for you.
Well, you know, we were going real good all year. We hoped to win a bunch of races. Then we got hurt. And we came back. We got going real good. And here we are.
The strategy you started after that restart, you just came virtually from the back to the front, and you were certainly on a tear.
Well, my son was hollering at me on the radio to back off, but I backed off for poking on him, and Sat swam by me, and I had to reach past him. I said, I'm just going to drive the shit out of him to Empire State instead.
Tommy Bowman here at Victory Lane. We let the photographers get a few pictures. We'll be talking to some of the other competitors, the second and third place drivers. Tom Bowman here at Victory Lane. Again, we'll be talking to the second and third place drivers.
November 3rd, and of course don't forget the swap meet scheduled for the 20th of October here at the half mile. We'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Speedway owner, Jack Caruth, the general manager, Mark Caruth, and the entire team Stafford, the Stafford family, to thank each and every one of you for being part of the season, for being part of the fall final here today. We hope that you'll be back with us when we open up shop next spring, when we present once again the spring system. So, on behalf of Mike Kalinoff, Barry Simons, Ben Dodge, this is Russ Dowd. We do thank you again. Have yourself a very nice evening, a safe trip home, and we'll see you next season right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Good night.